Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive. And BlueDragonFive.
Yeah, and you do the intro.
Right.
You have your whole intro in front of you.
Certainly, sir. Hiya, kids. We're back to tell you the story, part of an ongoing story about memorable characters, long-lasting life lessons, all coated with just enough magic and wonder to keep you coming back. And to tell this week's story again, we start like any famous tale, once upon a time.
Frozen. Over. Ooh. Yeah, that's right. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty last night. It's a shame because we were on a real roll. I was really enjoying our discussion last night. And, you know, we were getting into the show. We were figuring it all out as we went along. By the way, there's a comment that someone posted. I'll pull it up as we go along. But
oh, goody comments. Yeah, we got to do that. That should be a portion of our show, discussing the helpful comments we get from people.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely I'm all for it. But we'll pull that up a little bit later. I just have to get to it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, essentially what happened was we were right at the tail end of the present day storyline, and I think it's lucky, BlueDragonFive, that we decided to split this up between flashbacks and present day, because it kind of worked out. It worked out to the situation worked out about as well as it could given the circumstances, essentially.
Nice.
So we ended right at the tail end of the present day stuff, and then we were about to go into the honest stuff. So with that in mind, we figured instead of trying to do all the present day stuff again and capture lightning in a bottle twice, let's just talk over the honest stuff. So with that in mind, yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, let me set up where we left off here.
Yeah, for sure.
So essentially, we left off at literally like kind of our end tag of the episode, where so now Elsa's come around, so she's trying to get rid of the ice structures around the outskirts of the town, so people can get in and out of the town, so the place won't be boxed in. And Emma's admiring her work. Oh man, because they've been seeing this throughout the episode that basically she's as far as Elsa's concerned, she's the only one with her ice powers. Basically, Emma's saying, "Oh man, this is some great work here. I mean, your powers look really great when they're working like this. It's a well-constructed structure." Anyway, basically, then she's trying to take it down. Saying, "What's the problem? I don't know. I can't. I have control of my powers. I can't bring it down for some reason." Essentially, kind of getting to the general realization. I don't know if it's exactly said like this. It's pretty much saying, "Man, there must be someone else with my powers, or there must be some. I don't know how this can be possible. Unless someone else had some powers like these." Cut to.
Oh yeah.
Cut to Grumpy.
He's our favorite character.
Cutting to Grumpy. Grumpy's getting a nice icy treat after the ordeal, and
I love that idea. It's so simple.
Yeah, I love the mundane, as you probably get.
Of course.
Just Grumpy getting some ice cream. That's the real world stuff. He's getting some ice cream. And I like how he points out the logic, saying, I don't necessarily think he's hitting on the person. He's just being friendly. He's just saying he's just saying, "Oh
I
man,
don't know enough about the character to know if he's hitting on her or not."
No, I'm just saying again. Neither do I, mind you. Again, I was going into this, folks. I just know the direction that we're parachuting here. I have no bearing on where our destination is.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, I just gathered he was being friendly. But maybe he was he's bashfully hitting on her. Wrong dwarf, I know, but still. The point is, he's saying, "Oh man, business must have been bad for you.
You must have lost a lot of your inventory."
Exactly. Says, "Nope, everything's fine." He serves him his ice cream. He's off, smiley. A rare Grumpy smile.
All right, ice cream, haha.
Yeah.
And I got my coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Anyways, then we have a big reveal here, big old reveal that this cute ice cream clerk, she actually has a secret. She opens a thing of melted ice cream, and she essentially freezes it over, turns in a nice icy treat, takes a fingerful, licks it, and then basically she freezes the area around her just to demonstrate to us, the audience, that, man, this girl has freezing powers.
Oh yeah.
So apparently there was another Ice Queen.
Dun.
In Storybrooke.
Yeah, we kind of speculated that this was going to be essentially with Anna and Elsa, they are like straight out of the Disney movie. I mean, you know, Grandpapa, when he had his scene, it was basically Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was like the animated character on the screen. So they're making no bones about it. It is the Disney universe. But now, what we're speculating about is maybe this ice cream woman is perhaps the real Hans Christian Andersen Snow Queen.
Yes, because as for those who may not be aware, Frozen is indeed adapted from the, at least based on the original Snow Queen story, but updated, changed, and adapted very well, of course, of the original Snow Queen. Yeah, exactly, Snow Queen fairy tale. So the idea we have here is perhaps, just perhaps, I mean, nothing set in stone here, perhaps all speculation, that this character, who was really dressed traditionally like a Snow Queen in the next promo we saw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay.
Well, she's dressed in like a white fancy outfit. It makes her look kind of Snow Queenish.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice.
So presumably, the only thing I can fathom is I can't even think of any other character she could be, or she could just be a random person with powers for all we know. Mm-hmm. I would say if she is a fairy tale character, that's all I can think of who she could be, the actual Snow Queen, because basically Frozen's so popular, people just accept it as its own thing and just kind of forget completely that it's based off the snow. It
is like transcended itself and become its own universe.
Which is kind of a neat idea. It's like not something you can really knock, because let's face it, it's obviously different than the Snow Queen tale, but it's a little better in my opinion.
Yeah, I've never read the original Hans Christian Andersen work.
It's a little darker.
Well, yeah, I mean, Hans Christian Andersen, it's like the Little Mermaid literally turns to sea foam at the end, so
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Is, we all love Frozen, pretty much it's kind of a fun fourth wall comment on it that, you guys love Frozen, you get your Frozen, but also let's address the original fairy tale. Let's give Elsa a rival, someone who, like, basically kind of taking the real implication that people who aren't satisfied with Frozen, well, here's your reward for that. You have someone who's presumably in the promo more powerful than Elsa. Who might be the actual Snow Queen. So
that's
more speculation on that at the end of this episode. But let's go into our flashbacks.
All right, yeah, let's do it. But before we do that, I just want to point out thank you to Thomas the Imagineer for being our first commenter on Once Upon a Time Frozen Over. And yeah, he gave us a helpful little tidbit so we were kind of speculating about the crocodile bit with Hook.
Yeah.
And so official confirmation, Hook's nickname for Rumpelstiltskin is Crocodile. So I guess I'm just assuming that's because of his, like leathery face and appearance and whatnot when it's in the earlier season. So I got to admit, I'm a little bit disappointed that there's not like a physical crocodile in the show, but whatever, I'll go with it. All right. So thank you, Thomas. Very well, very much appreciated.
It might be an implication that he used to skin crocodiles, maybe.
Who, that Hook did?
No, maybe in his past we don't see it, or again, I'm just guessing we don't see it. Maybe it's implied as a kind of a hobby of his, skinning crocodiles or hunting crocodiles.
Oh my. Okay. Well. All right. Well, moving right along. Let's get to Anna's storyline.
Yes. Okay. So in the past, and again, some of the best stuff in this season so far, at least in our novice experiences, the Frozen stuff is fantastic, and the actors, the fashion, storytelling, all grade A stuff. And basically now this is really our first crossover between our Frozen universe. Well, it's set in the past, mind you, the Frozen universe and the Once Upon a Time universe in the past. So we pick up with Anna, who previously again trying to seek where the parents were going, and just to prove that they weren't running from Elsa, they were trying to help Elsa or something. She doesn't know quite what exactly, but trying to see if they're helping Elsa. Anyway, so let's see. Oh yeah. So Anna meets a friend of Kristoff's, a friend of Kristoff's in a little shack, and a little shack on a farm, and we find out this friend of Kristoff's is actually David. Neither of us realized our first viewing. At least,
no, that was funny, especially
at first.
Yeah, it was like it was supposed to be a big reveal because it cut like right into the Once Upon a Time logo, but we were both like, "Who's David?" I wrote on my notes, "Who's David? Who's B?"
Again, I thought he might have been Bellfire because I think Bellfire's fake name is David also. So I don't know.
Okay.
At first, I caught on though. To my credit, I caught on the course of that. I see past and present. Oh, it's the same guy.
I literally didn't catch on until David from the present was giving his speech. I was that dim to it all. Oh god.
Anyway, point.
Right.
So she meets David here, Prince Charming. Before he was Prince Charming, by the way, it's important to note.
Okay.
And so she meets, which kind of throws into question like how the timeline works, but we'll get to that later. But the point is, so she meets David. David's a friend of Kristoff's, and she's being really secretive and a real funny runner. That she's on. Again, I can't praise these actors enough playing our Frozen characters. Because, she embodies what we all love about her. Just kind of that quirky, not sure of herself, funny in the delivery, so innocent and childlike. And just if you throw a little more clumsiness, I think she'd be completely on the money. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Pretty much, basically saying she's on a secret mission, trying not to give away details, even though they're pretty much obvious.
It's adorable. It's great. You're right. They just hit it right over the head. It's perfect characterization.
Oh yeah. And again, I gotta say, I love Anna and Elsa both. I think I'm gonna come down the Anna side a little more out of love you. I love Anna so much. And I was so happy with this stuff. Just basically her saying, "Oh, so Kristoff, hey, you must be his fiance. How did you know that?" And basically saying, I can see the ringling finger. Oh, you're a smart one, aren't you? Funny stuff. And again, she's saying she's on a secret mission. Pretty much just comes with a fake name. I love it. Out of all the names she comes up with Joan. Just so random and funny. Just comes up with Joan again. Secret mission. So she's pretty much asking.
Instantly just like, Joan's not your name.
Oh yeah. Again, props for David. David's so far. I gotta tell you again, just very much. Aside from the recaps, is pretty much my real introduction to David in this series.
Yeah, he wasn't in the first episode at all, right?
No, I mean he's been in the episodes. I'm saying really, just at this point for me, he's being introduced to the guy, like getting some time to know him here.
No, but I'm just asking, was he in the first episode at all? Did he show up?
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, he and Snow White asked if Regina was okay.
Oh, so he was like just kind of in the background a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I got it. All right.
And he was he's in this one, so 2 episodes.
Yeah, well, like you said, this was kind of his big sort of coming out for the season.
Yeah. Well, so far, yeah. So I like David. I like his little arc here. I like how he develops. I can see myself really liking this. He's a father, and he's a new father again with this newborn baby, and he kind of missed out on being father to Emma, our main character. So interesting stuff there to play with. Anyway,
the age gap with him and Emma doesn't bother me nearly as much as it does with Emma and Snow White, because Emma and Snow White are like the same age, and I know there's an explanation for that and everything, but whatever.
Well, why would it bother me more with him than the mother, and more with the mother than him?
I don't know. Maybe just because the actor himself looks slightly older, whereas the actress playing Snow White looks younger. I don't know.
Anyway, so the point is that basically Anna's asking for some shelter while she searches the enchanted forest for some answers, which she's not telling because it's part of a secret mission. Anyway, so again, because he knows Kristoff, basically there's a cute line where he says, I guess I'll find out your real name at the wedding. Of course he's invited. And I just love the idea that David knows Kristoff. There's like a story there we haven't seen. I love that idea.
Yeah, I'd like to see that story. That would be great.
I just think that's kind of a neat idea. That's how you introduce these characters, like how you kind of introduce the Once Upon a Time world to Frozen. Like, okay, well, Kristoff, we don't know that much about Kristoff. Maybe you know somebody.
Sure. And this guy, he only knows Kristoff and Arendelle, so he didn't really pass through Arendelle that long. But obviously, he had enough of an interaction with Kristoff to where they became good friends. So
well, I got the implication. David's never been to Arendelle. Because remember, first of all, Arendelle's been kind of shut off from trade ever since Elsa's powers developed.
Oh, okay. So he just knew Kristoff from elsewhere.
Yeah, I assume Kristoff went there because he basically says, I don't know how things work in Arendelle, so I assume he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So my assumption is Kristoff visited him delivering ice or something, or, maybe they both like ice. So basically, Pretty much he allows Anna to stay the night despite all the secrecy. but the not really helpful secrecy.
No, not at all.
Anyway, and by the way, just the way we kind of split up our synopses or synopsize or synopsis here. We're not doing it justice how they have like a really good saving Mr. Banks type style of integrating these, because they really do play off each other nicely, past and present. You do a lot of great plot stuff going on there. So we're not doing it justice by the way we're doing it here. Just know that we do respect the way they do that. So.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, flashbacks are kind of a tricky thing. Of course, you didn't sit through 6 seasons of Lost like I did, and Lost was very flashback heavy, and so I kind of get some of the same influence because I know a couple of the Lost writers did this. So it's interesting though. I really like the way they do it. It's not like Lost, because with Lost it's sort of like one character always has like all the flashback focus for an episode. So they're playing with it, like you said. It's much more Saving Mr. Banks style. They're really incorporating it into the overall narrative.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so we continue on with our flashbacks, just where continuing on where the past narrative goes on here. So Bo Peep arrives, and David's dreading it. He basically tells Anna to hide, and Bo Peep comes by and demands pay, or else she's gonna demands her payment. I guess she's charging him rent to own the land, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't pay me, you guys are gonna sell your land to me. You're gonna give back the land to me, and pretty much you'll be slaves on the land unless you give me your horse. Which, by the way, Jarman, he doesn't want to get rid of his faithful steed either. To buy off a day, he would just spare him a day. He says, "No, it's ridiculous. No, this is my faithful companion."
Well, okay, then I will come back, and you can keep the horse, and the farm will be mine.
Oh yeah. So pretty much, first of all, really ruthless Bo Peep here.
I love it. I mean, if this is what this show is doing with classic fairy tale characters, I'm kind of all over it.
Well, they do. From what I get from the recaps, they do that. Again, Peter Pan being like one of the cases. From what I get.
Exactly. Yeah.
So some are bad. Of course, you got how they were then and how they are now in the town, and their reinventions, so to speak. But let me see. Oh, by the way, did you know anything about the Bo Peep fairy tale that would imply that she's a villain?
Okay, well, it's not a fairy tale. It's just a nursery rhyme.
Sorry, I mean the nursery rhyme.
Yeah, well, let's see. Okay, so it's like little Bo Peep lost her sheep, and...
For some reason, I keep thinking of Little Miss Muffet, for some reason.
It's kind of the same structure of...
like Sal and her Tuffet.
Yeah. I don't remember that. All I remember is little Bo Peep lost her sheep. Wow, my childhood is fading from me. That's like really, really old. That's been around for ages. So it's yeah, I know, but I remember my great grandma used to read me like this whole big book of nursery rhymes. And it's just
Bo Peep right off the bat to me is Toy Story ingrained, so I can't.
Oh yeah, right. I didn't even think about that. Oh my god.
Anyway, so point is, Bo Peep's a bad like an evil landowner of sorts. Anyway, so basically kind of a boss Biggs.
Oh no! You're absolutely right.
Anyway, so again, she then the interesting thing that's brought up here is that her magic croak, the croak, the thing she pokes the sheep.
Oh yeah.
She uses this to brand people, which is essentially it's a slavery angle in a fairy tale related show.
It's really dark. It's just like holy crap! Like Bo Peep shows up, like you said. This is like I guess the modern pop culture implication of Bo Peep is the Toy Story one, and then it's this crazy person. It's just like, wow, okay. I don't know. With this kind of stuff, like I said, I'm considering going back and rewatching the show now because I'm really liking this angle.
Anyway, so yeah, she sees. So it's cool. It's a cool idea that she kind of brands people with like sort of a tracker on her cane, which I thought was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And also, I want to mention that Charming, he's not just there by himself. He's caring for like an ailing mother, like watching. They both like own the land. They take care of the land. So he's like him and his not ailing mother, him and his elderly mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you got a good. Yeah, right off the bat, we like Charming. Just to point out, we got a villain coming in, Anna's bearing witness to basically Bo Peep bullying her way, saying, "Hey, you guys are gonna give me that money by tomorrow, or else this whole farm, this whole land's mine, and you guys will be my slaves forever." Well, she doesn't say it, like.
Maniacal love, maniacal love.
We got a funny story about that after this, by the way. Anyway, so anyways, the next scene, Anna has bear witness to this, and she suggests to David, "Hey, listen, why don't you fight? Why don't you fight off this Bo Peep?" Says, "Oh, what are you insane? Look at her. She's got these armed guards, and she's Bo Peep. She's evil. She's got this weird croak thingy. Are you nuts?"
I just love the idea of Bo Peep basically being a warlord. It's marvelous.
But I like how, again, I love just the simple thing. Anna doesn't like bullies, and that fits with her character. She views that world just kind of the simplistic view of, okay, well, there's someone's acting bad, you got to put them in their place. You gotta yell at them a little. Basically, this is the same Anna with one of my favorite bits in Frozen, where she says, "It's not nice to throw snowmen." That's perfect Anna to a T. Anna goes with like the straightforward emotion, like you saying, my sister, I gotta help my sister. Doesn't care about anything else but helping her sister. Type deal here. Basically, she says, "Well, look, but you shouldn't abide by bullies here. You should fight them off." And I love this one line she said. Basically, she says, he says, "Well, I'm a farmer. I'm not really, not a farmer. Wait, does it say sheep herder or
He's a shepherd?
Yeah, shepherd. Right. Oh man, that's even better. Think about it. Bo Peep and the shepherd.
Well, that's a clear connection. But,
metaphorical sheep versus actual sheep.
Yeah, but what he says is he has a line. In a bar fight, I can hold my own. But Bo Peep, she has an army, or she has guards, and
I'm just a shepherd.
Yeah, I'm just a shepherd.
Yeah, and pretty much, I wouldn't do that well in a fight against that skill. Very much, then Anna says line, "It's not a fight if it's easy."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of love the delivery on this actor. This actor is doing everything right for me right now. So basically, Anna proposes, "Hey, listen, I'll teach you how to sword fight because I learned it from my guards. I mean, the guards, like soldiers around Arendelle." just keeping things secret. Well, really, come on. She's giving only thing she's not telling him is her name and her sister.
Exactly. Yeah.
And her name and her sister. That's about it.
Oh man. Yeah.
And also, by the way, but before she said she learned it from guards, there's this funny line that David has. If you learned it from Kristoff, he only used his knife to cut little ice cubes, to make ice cubes. So I don't think that's going to help.
Well, where did she learn it from? Did they establish? They didn't establish that in the movie, did they?
No, it's not in the movie, but they just.
But from the soldiers and everything,
they only say it here that she learned it from the soldiers, or she changed the story quickly, like soldiers around the place.
Okay. So that means I don't know. That's kind of the storyline. It's kind of neat that they're sewing in all these little oh, here's something that we didn't see in the movie, but it makes sense with the character.
Yeah, just think about it. She's a member in one of the great songs in Frozen. "Do you want to build a snowman?"
Oh yeah.
And "Do you want to build something?" You see, she's kind of passing the time by with presumably a few hobbies. You're just kind of going around going nuts inside the castle. So what's she gonna do if she can't? At that point, I assume she can't really leave Arendelle, so you're just kind of hanging around and getting to know people.
Yeah, sure. So it totally makes sense. There'd be soldiers and guards around. So yeah, one of them would teach her to sword fight. So yeah, I really like that. They're just it's really natural the way they kind of build on the Frozen story.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. So then we see a sequence of basically her teaching him how to sword fight, and instantly he wants to give up because he realizes he's no good at it, because she's really good. Man, I love her sword fighting too. That's a cool idea. Anyways, she's taking him to the cleaners, sword fighting, pretty much kind of like a fencing, if you will, tapping him, basically, "You've lost, I'll try again."
Right.
Pretty much saying he wants to give him, and I love how she gets pointing out, "Man, you really like to give up," saying it's not giving up, it's impractical. I can't do this in one day.
You know what? You're gonna hate me for this, but I gotta take Charming's side on this issue.
No, I'm with Charming too.
I know it's the whole episode's point, but honestly, I thought Anna was just a little bit pushy and annoying in this scene. And I really liked Anna's characterization throughout the episode, except this one scene. It kind of bothered me.
Well, I'll meet
know.
you halfway, Tiki. I'll say this. I'll say I see Charm. It's a valid argument because Charming does legitimately have a point here. It's only I've only got like 1 day to learn sword fighting here. It's
like Anna says like, oh, I could just teach you, but I'm like, dude, it takes you so long to learn proper technique and whatnot. It's like you clearly cannot learn all you know in 1 day. I mean, that is just clearly impractical.
However, I don't think Anna's being annoyed about it. I think it's more like she's kind of prodding him into getting fired up and trying to kind of getting past his mental block of I can't do this.
Yeah, I guess so. But like I said, I'm just like with Charming. Some battles can't be won. I mean, I am kind of, like at this point in the episode, I am like, yeah, I get the hell out of there too. All right.
But even though he can't run from the place. Running's not an option.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
It's either a fighter or slavery.
Yeah, tricky situation. Well.
Anyway, so the point, I don't know, I think it's a valid argument on both sides. I don't think she's been that. Anyway, so the point is, again, speaking of running away, she mentions she has a really great line talking in relation to trying to pep him up from giving up. She mentions pretty much the events of the first movie, saying, "Oh, my sister, she tried running away and surviving, and basically she tried running away, and essentially surviving isn't living."
Mm-hmm.
Which is a really cool idea to run with. Pretty much, yeah. She tried to obviously she had a whole song about running away, letting go, and really that wasn't surviving. That was just kind of escaping your problems for them. Of course, the problem's still going on in the town in the kingdom of things freezing over. It's just you can't. Just surviving as a hermit isn't really helping you. It's kind of hurting you more. It was what she's saying.
Right.
The first movie there. She has a good point. Basically, her whole shtick with this guy, surviving, like by skin of your teeth, just surviving and just running away from the problem. It isn't living. You're still living in fear. You gotta face the things out and you gotta try to conquer them so you can live an actual life. So Anna's really winning some points here for me on this. Meanwhile, so David, again, he brings up kind of another legitimate block he's got about this sort of thing. Shares a story of his father's alcoholism. This is a really good story, by the way. David really sells the heck out of this story here.
Oh yeah, it's definitely kind of reminds me of the whole saving Mr. Banks situation too.
She pretty much says how alcoholism eventually killed his father. Because his father, he'd come home and he tried to clean up and it looked really good for 13 days. Everything was all happy and good. And then pretty much he was going to hug his father one day. Came to the door as a constable, telling his mother that on the 14th day, pretty much he stumbled and he fell and he killed him. Mm. He hit the bottle and it killed him.
Right. Yeah. Actually. Yeah.
So the point is, I guess David's point is, if I can recall, is that you can try to fight your demons in the way they're going to come back no matter how hard you try, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can try to not give up, but sometimes your only option would be to give up, I guess. So again, the point, I'm not doing that much justice. So the point is I can't quite recall what he said after the point of that story was. The point is just saying he's not giving up. I remember, it's not being cowardly. It's a physical, he can't do this type thing. That's what he's getting at.
Yeah, exactly. And
which again, valid point.
I can relate to that. Like, I really can, because I guess, like, just to get personal for just a second, like, my whole big thing is driving. Like, I have such a high anxiety issue. Like, I don't even like driving around with people in the passenger seat because it's so stressful. So, to me, the idea of, like, operating a piece of machinery worth thousands of dollars that has the potential to kill someone is just, like, not something I want to deal with at all. And I get a lot of flack from that, from people, because they're just like, well, you just kind of have to get over it. It's like riding a bike. But I'm like, yeah, but it's so intimidating. I just don't want to deal with it. So, I don't know. Like, I guess that kind of, like, it really sort of gave the whole scene a personal element for me. But anyways, moving on.
Anyway, so then after that, Anna has a really good thing, and she offers to now she hears the story, she's a little more sympathetic, and basically says, look, if you you need my help by all means. Just let me know, because it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. If you want to fight her, just call me, and by all means, I'll help you fight her off. If you feel so insecure about this thing, it's up to you. It's your call. Anyway, so then next scene, Bo Peep comes by. I guess David, I think David worked up the courage, and he's about to seek out Anna for like some last minute sword practice.
Yeah.
And next morning, it's Bo Peep appears in, I believe, the barn, pretty much, and she's holding Anna's snowflake necklace, which plays big in our present storyline.
Oh yeah.
So again, it's how David remembers, because of course he'd remember after this scene. Pretty much, Anna has been captured and branded. Again, important plot point in the present. Has been captured and branded. Meaning, David right now, he's not just fighting for his freedom, his mother's freedom. He's fighting for Anna's freedom and safety.
Yeah, and I guess like I did get kind of confused about this because I don't know.
So pretty much, Anna's just being held prisoner in another side of the barn or something.
Right, that's what I was confused about. I was like, where's Anna in this whole thing then? I mean, I don't know. I guess I would have liked to have seen Anna in the, as a prisoner of Bo Peep, because I was kind of confused, like, I didn't know if Bo Peep had her brainwashed. Like, you know what I thought at first? This is going to sound ridiculous, but I just don't know the magic of this world at all, so I honestly thought that at first, Bo Peep, oh my god, this is ridiculous, I don't even know why I thought it. I thought that Bo Peep, when she held up the necklace, the implication was that she somehow put Anna into the necklace.
Ugh.
I know, that's ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous, but I just, like I said, I don't know the magic of this world at all, and this show is like a total, pull any sort of magic right off the top of their head, so, it's much like this show uses magic exactly the same way Heroes uses powers. It's like they're constantly inventing magic and stuff to get out of situations. But anyways.
Anyway, so Charming and Bo Peep have their big face-off. Charming, he's got a sword and he's doing battle with her guards. He wins, yay! Then Bo Peep, and oh boy, Bo Peep's a force to be reckoned with. He's not doing too well. She gets the upper hand. It's looking like it's curtains for Charming, but then he finds his vigor, basically something along the lines of "I'm not giving up." Learning from Anna. Good little bit of character development. Their point is, Bo Peep is about to make the final blow. He evades it, not giving up. Yay. Sword gets jammed in a piece of wood or like a piece of the structure behind him. She's having some trouble getting out there. He takes the opportunity, puts the sword to her throat, demanding that he release Anna. He gets the crook, finds her.
Mm-hmm.
Gets crook, finds her. Basically, he's defeated Bo Peep, saying, "Don't come back here, or else I'll kill you."
Yeah.
Pretty much. Anyway, so let's see. After Charming wins a sword fight, it's a really fun thing. This makes so much sense with Anna, because of course Anna's not going to just give up. Well, she just made the point of it. She's not the one for giving up, so she's ready with an escape plan. Or at least going to try an escape plan, because that makes sense for Anna. She's going to try an escape plan by... She's like in the rafters, presumably, of the barn. Basically, she jumps down the guy who entered, and she sees, "Oh, it's you!"
Yeah. Oh my god.
God, gotta love Anna. She tackles the guys. Says, "Oh, I thought you were one of them."
Yeah. Again, I think it's kind of a hole that we didn't see Bo Peep, imprison Anna. I'm kind of bothered by that because it's. I don't know. I guess there's only so much time for an episode, but I would have liked to have seen that scene.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a minor thing, I guess. Anyway,
it is a minor thing. You're right. I'm kind of nitpicking.
Yeah, you got a point, but it's only so much time in an episode,
Yeah, right. And you've got the present day stuff too. So and the present day stuff was really good, a lot better than last week, I thought. So, yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so Charming has a line here, basically saying he didn't want to be trapped in a life he doesn't want. Right. Which was a good line.
Kind of echoes the whole surviving isn't living thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is good. Basically, there's a really good message in this about kind of standing up to adversity with our present story, and kind of standing up to bullies in our past one, which is a good message.
Sure, absolutely.
It's a simple message. It's a good one, most definitely. Anyway, so pretty much we end the flashback with now they've been through the ordeal, and the mother's Yeah, the mother and Charming thank Joan profusely. uh, Now, I'll get into speculation in just a second. But anyway, so they thank her profusely, offers her the steed, which is a nice gesture. Basically, you wouldn't give her the horse, saying, "Well, yeah, you've earned him. He'll take care of you."
Yeah, I thought that was really nice.
Nice little scene. Also, a funny, really hilarious reference to Frozen. In this scene, basically says, "Made her a sandwich." Oh, I love sandwiches.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, I would laugh so. So silly, but I laughed so hard. Just thinking of the whole song and everything.
Oh yeah.
That's the way you do a song reference.
Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly. Oh, the cold? It's never bothered me.
It's still a legitimate reaction. Just the questions, the ridiculous. Anyway, getting bonus. So now that Joan basically proposes to the mother a question. You're basically saying, "Hey, listen. If someone were, yeah, I've had some magical troubles myself within my family. Listen, if someone were to get an opinion on that sort of thing, well, who would they go to around these parts? Essentially, pretty much saying, essentially asking, do you guys have any information like a magic specialist around these parts?"
Mm-hmm.
Then she says, "Oh yeah, there is this one person. I don't dare speak his name." She writes down a piece of paper and gives it on us. You'll find him. I guess she says you'll find him here. Or I don't know if she wrote it down or what. Pony says you'll find him here. Then Anna's riding off on the horse and she reads the thing. Huh, Rumpelstiltskin.
Wouldn't it be great if she read it and it was like, huh, Voldemort.
Anyways, Beetlejuice.
Right.
No, but then we see like a little glimpse of my assumption, by the way, is I think when she says the name, then Rumple can view her on his magic little orb there. That's what I think.
Yeah, I was kind of confused about that. Right.
I think I'd like it if that were the case. I think it's kind of cool and creepy. Man, you really don't want to speak this guy's name, or else he's gonna be watching.
Exactly. Yeah, that does kind of lead some credence to the whole thing. All right.
Anyway,
cool,
so the point is, we see Rumpelstiltskin in his kind of his previous, I guess, more crocodile-looking form.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking gleefully. Oh, here's a new mark again. He's kind of like it's sort of your devil deal maker of sorts here, as the dark one.
Right.
Anyways, by the way, yeah, the horse was David's father's horse too. That's the reason he's also attached to the horse. Last thing I mentioned. Anyways, the point is, so she's off to see Rumple, and boy, is she gonna make a deal with the devil in the pale moonlight? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, so the point is she's heading to see Rumpelstiltskin. That kind of spells trouble, at least at this point in time, for Rumple. When he's in full bad guy mode, or at least full deal maker mode, it would appear.
Oh, yeah.
So, the one thing to speculate in our past flashback here. Now think about this, Tiki. So the line basically saying, "Yes, I'll find out your real name at the ceremony," or see you at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
They keep mentioning that. In the present day, we saw in the present day that Charming still doesn't know her real name.
That's true.
So implication being that wedding never happened. So again, the timeline's might be a little wonky on this, because bear in mind, here's what we got facts wise. When Anna meets Charming, it's before he became Prince Charming.
Mm-hmm.
It's before he met Snow White. It's back when he was a humble shepherd.
Sure.
So obviously some years had to pass there for those two to meet, presumably. After those two meet and they go through their fairy tale, then the curse happens, and then everything gets all thrown out of whack. And then we end up in Storybrooke. So essentially the Snow White fairy tale ends, and then presumably the curse happens, then we get in Storybrooke. So the question is, like, how's our Frozen universe progressing here? So I'm wondering, like, if Anna something has to happen to Anna with this timeline. Anna, like, Elsa gets plucked out of her timeline.
Right.
Presumably, because she gets plucked up, that's why she's there now. And apparently, in those years, in the whatever time, she's still looking for Anna.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know. So the point is, some years presumably had to pass between this. Maybe some years looking for Anna.
Well, I mean, it's important to note that, like, right at the beginning of the flashback, it says very deliberately, like, many years ago.
Yeah, it says definitely says many years ago. So I don't know. I'm still a little curious. Well, I'm sure we're going to find out a little more, but I'm still curious exactly how the timeline's working here. Like, how long has Elsa been looking for Anna? And, like, how long has Anna been gone? That's my big question. Because still, because you mean a wedding never happened, so she's been gone for a while. Because she said she'd be gone for like 2 weeks, but now it seems she's gone much longer than that.
Oh yeah, and this is just a bit of speculation, but perhaps what they're gonna do is they're gonna have like one episode will be an Elsa flashback showing what's going on in Arendelle. Maybe Hans and his 12 brothers come into play.
Oh yeah.
And then every other episode we'll get an Anna flashback.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Do you think they're kind of like establishing a bit of a pattern here?
Like, well, I know in the next episode we're going to get some flashback with Elsa and Kristoff. I know that.
Okay, that's good.
So there's going to be some juxtaposition. So we're going to see what they're doing before she sets out to find Anna, or at least what's getting her to set out to find Anna. So they're still within the 2-week gap, I suppose, of still okay. Anna's just out there. We can trust her until she doesn't return, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming that this episode is probably going to cover like up until they're starting to get really worried, and she hasn't come back yet within the time that she said she'd come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
cool.
So the last, I guess we should speculate on that. Anything remaining on our next episode. So again, pretty much next episode's promo. Not much to it. Just pretty much the Ice Queen's around, and she claims to be more powerful than Elsa.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she's keeping the town closed up, so presumably she's not so nice. And it might be, again, what we're speculating is that she is maybe the actual Snow Queen from the fairy tale.
Sure.
And I saw a clip of next episode, Kristoff and Elsa, who really have a good rapport going on. I'm really excited to see that play out.
Okay, yeah, you've been waiting for that.
Oh yeah, they've got some good. Again, just in terms of dynamic, just from that little clip I saw, it still seems pretty much like this is still in the time she hasn't, and pardon the pun, warmed up to him yet. It's like basically, okay, this is my sister's boy, and it's like she hasn't really. It's like you get the sense that they really haven't hung out together, or like they haven't really gotten to know each other that much.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
But like she respects him to a degree. But she's still. I don't even sure how much she respects, because again, she kind of still thinks he's kind of like.
She made that snap at him about like living in a barn or whatever last.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think those still have some room to go, and it kind of makes sense that Elsa. Just think of it, like Elsa wouldn't have that much people skills because she's been distanced from people for so long.
Yeah, exactly. Again,
but yeah, it's some interesting stuff there. So anyway, so the stuff to play with next as a point is it's going to be Elsa versus this really powerful Snow Queen, and it's like an uphill battle. It would appear, and then she's dressed like traditional Snow Queen, so we'll see who she is, why, and I guess Anna dealing with Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we don't know. Do we see anything in the promo about Anna and Rumpelstiltskin?
Well, okay,
like I said. I'm kind of thinking like maybe episode 4 will be Anna and Rumpelstiltskin.
I guessed about Anna and Rumpelstiltskin. I just never get a flash of Kristoff and.
Okay, like I said, I'm kind of thinking like the pattern's going to be like every other episode is going to switch. But I have nothing to base that on.
There is a really funny line Kristoff had in the clip I saw.
Oh yeah.
He says basically mentioned he refers to Hans by saying that whoever that idiot that tried to take over was.
That's the perfect way to describe Hans. I am very excited about Hans. I am more excited about him than anything else.
And his 12 brothers.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Oh my god.
The invasion of the Hans. Huh?
I'm kind of fully expecting like maybe the next Elsa flashback after next episode Hans is going to come in the picture. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to come in there soon.
Sure, yeah.
To be honest, right. I expect I presume next episode, because there's going to be some trouble in the present, maybe some trouble in the past while those two are back in the kingdom.
Okay, yeah, cool, maybe, perhaps.
Anyway, cool. Yeah. So I guess anything else to say before we wrap up here?
No, I think I said my piece.
All right, well, kids, it's time to close the book on this one for now until we get to the next chapter of our Frozen continuation. Yet another thrilling installment of Once Upon a Time.
Frozen. Dramatic pause. Over. All right, good night, everyone.